We need to talk about your parents. They love you, they want the best for you, and they truly want you to succeed in life. But if you actually follow the financial advice they gave you, there is a very good chance you will end up broke by the end of this decade. The comfortable economic world they built their lives in simply does not exist anymore. Back then, you could walk into a business, shake the manager's hand, secure a job that paid for a house, and retire comfortably with a solid pension. Today, if you try doing that, you will probably get escorted out of the building by a security guard. The underlying rules of money have fundamentally changed, and relying on outdated strategies is like trying to navigate a modern smart city using a paper map from the 1800s. In this video, we are going to look at why the classic financial advice of saving money, buying a house, and staying loyal to your employer is actually dangerous in 2026, and what you should do instead. Let us start with the absolute holy grail of boomer advice, which is to put your money in a savings account and let it grow. It sounds incredibly safe and responsible, right? Your parents probably remember a time when savings accounts paid double-digit interest rates that actually outran the rising cost of things. Today, leaving your hard-earned cash in a standard bank account is essentially a slow-motion robbery, where you are voluntarily handing over your purchasing power. Let us look at what inflation actually does to your money. Inflation is the gradual loss of your money's purchasing power over time, meaning a dollar tomorrow buys less than a dollar today. If you have $10,000 sitting in a bank account, earning 0.5% interest, but the price of groceries, rent, and insurance is rising by 5% every year, you are not actually saving money. You are losing hundreds of dollars in real value every single year. It's like trying to walk up a downward-moving escalator while carrying heavy bags of groceries. You might feel like you're making progress because you see the numbers in your banking app staying the same, but in reality, you are steadily slipping backward. To survive in 2026, you cannot just be a saver, because you have to learn how to be an investor, or the system will quietly erode everything you work for. Next up is the absolute obsession with buying a home as soon as humanly possible. Our parents viewed a home as the ultimate investment and the only real milestone of adulthood. If you don't own a home, they assume you're just throwing your hard-earned money away on rent. But the housing market of 2026 is a completely different beast than the one they entered 30 years ago. Back then, a house cost maybe 3 or 4 times the average annual salary of a working professional.
Today, in many major cities, a modest home costs 10 or 12 times what a normal person makes in a year. When you factor in modern mortgage rates, property taxes, home insurance, and endless maintenance, buying a home can sometimes be a financial anchor rather than an asset. A mortgage is a loan you take out from a bank to buy a property, which you then pay back with interest over several decades. If you tie up every single dollar you have into a massive down payment, you are left with zero flexibility. You cannot easily move to another state for a better career opportunity. You cannot use that capital to start a business, and you are always one broken roof away from total financial panic. Renting is not throwing money away because it pays for shelter and the freedom to move when opportunities arise. Sometimes, renting a modest apartment and investing your extra cash into assets that grow faster than real estate is the smartest financial move you can make. Then there is the classic advice of finding a good company, working hard, and steadily climbing the corporate ladder. Our parents lived in a world where corporate loyalty was actively rewarded with pensions, steady promotions, and celebratory retirement parties with gold watches. Today, that old idea of loyalty is a one-way street that leads straight to underpayment and stagnation. Modern companies do not reward loyalty anymore because they actively exploit it. If you stay at the same company for a decade, your annual raise will probably hover around 2 or 3%, which barely keeps pace with the cost of your morning coffee. Meanwhile, that same company will hire someone from the outside for 30% more money because they have to pay market rates to attract new talent. This means staying loyal to your employer is literally costing you tens of thousands of dollars over the course of your career. To get a real raise in the modern economy, you often have to change jobs every 2 to 3 years. It sounds incredibly exhausting, and it is, but it is the only way to ensure your income keeps pace with the modern world. Your employer views you as a single line item on a spreadsheet, so you need to view your career as a business where you are the product. Even the more modern financial advice we got a few years ago is starting to show its age in the current market. You have probably heard the modern advice to just put your money in a broad index fund and forget about it for 30 years. An index fund is a type of investment that pools money to buy a small piece of many different companies at once, which spreads out your risk. This was historically great advice when the stock market was balanced across many different sectors of the economy, but today things look a little different. A massive portion of the major stock indexes is now dominated by just a handful of giant technology companies. If those 5 or 6 companies have a bad quarter or face regulation, the entire index tumbles, meaning your supposedly diversified investment is actually heavily dependent on a very small group of tech executives. This does not mean you should stop investing in index funds altogether, but it does mean you can't just blindly put your money there and assume you are perfectly safe.
You need to understand what you actually own and how global economic events can affect those dominant companies. The comfortable days of set-and-forget financial planning are officially over, and you need to be actively engaged in where your money goes. Let us talk about the pathway of higher education. For decades, the standard path to financial success was simple. Go to a good university, get a degree, and a high-paying job will be waiting for you on the other side. This worked beautifully when tuition was affordable and a degree actually guaranteed professional employment. Today, higher education has become one of the most expensive and risky gambles a young person can make. Millions of students graduate with 6 figures of student loan debt into a modern job market that does not care about their degree. A student loan is money you borrow from the government or a private lender to pay for college, which you must pay back even if you cannot find a job or declare bankruptcy. Starting your working life $50,000 in debt is like trying to run a marathon with a heavy iron ball and chain tied to your ankle. While you are busy paying off interest every month, your peers who skipped the traditional degree to learn high-demand technical skills or trade crafts are already buying assets and building real wealth. You do not need a fancy piece of paper to learn how to bring real, practical value to the market anymore. In 2026, self-education, specialized modern skills, and practical experience are worth far more than a degree from an elite university. So, where does all of this leave us? It's easy to feel frustrated and angry that the economic game has changed, but getting mad does not pay your bills or secure your future. Your parents did not give you bad financial advice because they wanted you to fail. They simply gave you the advice that worked for their generation. But to survive the modern world, you have to write your own contemporary playbook. You need to focus on increasing your income through high-income skills, staying flexible, and investing your money in assets that actually outpace inflation. Do not buy a house just because you feel societal pressure to do so. Do not stay at a job that does not value your work or pay you market rates. And do not let your hard-earned money sit in a basic bank account losing value every single day. Be curious, stay adaptable, and remember that the best investment you can ever make is in your own ability to earn. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice, so make sure to do your own thorough research before making any big decisions. If you want to keep figuring out this insane world of money together, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.